Is he the vandal?
Hello, folks. This is Mark Erlenwein, principal of Staten Island Technical High School. I want to thank you all for joining me this evening for the principal Chit-Chat. This is just something I wanted to do about a week or so before the school year starts, just to get some answers to some questions I know that you have. We're still working very diligently in getting the school year set up. I hope you all enjoyed your summer and enjoy the final days of summer. You have about another week and a few days left before we kick off and blast off the school year. So I'm welcoming, I hope, some of our students who will be joining us next week, parents, caretakers, anyone who just wanted to kind of come together tonight, get some updates on what's happening in the upcoming school year, and get some questions answered that I know you've been thinking about and wondering about in terms of the program and stuff like that. So first and foremost, just going to throw some banners up. If you have any questions that you want me to eventually get to once we go to the Q&A session, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, you can just throw the questions into the chat. And at one point during this evening, as we're talking, I will throw some of those questions up onto the screen. So for example, question that I see here. Yeah, like this. Question about how will students know what their programs are, what classes they'll be in this school year. So we're going to try to answer as many of those questions as possible. And I know a lot of you have a lot of the same questions. So try to get to as many as possible. For those of you who are watching this, we are recording this broadcast right now. So as soon as it concludes, it will be able to be watched on demand whenever anyone else wants to watch it or rewatch it, or if a friend or family member wanted to watch this, that they certainly can. So just to kind of kick things off, I just wanted to start off by saying we had a really awesome summer for those of you who participated in our new students, our incoming ninth graders who participated in our summer bridge program. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a little bit of comfort and a preview of what you can expect as a student at Staten Island Tech. I hope you got to meet a couple of the friends you're going to see each and every day, the faculty and staff members, and you got a chance to really get an idea and a feel for what the building is like. So on that first day of school, it's kind of like your fifth day of school. So speaking of that first day of school, the first day of school is next Thursday, September 8th. Otherwise, that would have been over a month ago. So September 8th is the first day of school. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering where you're going to be able to see all of this information. Where do you report to on the first day of school? Where do I go? What do I do? Your best place to go at all times, and this is true for the entire school year. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. So if you go to the Staten Island Tech homepage, you're going to see Sammy the Seagull and a couple of messages about the upcoming school year. So you'll see on the homepage, there's a link here that says 2022-23 school year info. If you click on that page, that link, it's going to bring you to this page. This is where you will find all the information for the entire school year. So right now, updates are coming soon. We're still preparing information. There's a lot of big things changing and some little things changing. So for example, many of you who are in the public school system already, you might have gone to a school or attended a school that used Scheduler, or called Pupil Path, Illuminate. It's called a couple of different things, but it all serves the same purpose of giving you your grades, your program, allowing you to stay in touch with your teachers. Well, that system does not work anymore. It no longer exists. So we will be adopting a new system called Sync Grades. Sync Grades is something that we're going to be sharing all that information once again on this page. So when you come here, hopefully later this week, I'm hoping by Thursday afternoon, we'll be able to update this page with information about sync grids, about the first day of school, September 8th, where you'll report to if you're a ninth grader, 10th, 11th, 12th grader, on how you're going to look up your program, how you're going to look up your homeroom. All that information is going to be shared on here. Okay, and we're going to try to get the programs up sooner versus later. So if you have any questions about your program, you can communicate with the guidance counselor ahead of time. So please, once again, just kind of backtracking a bit. From the actual Staten Island Tech homepage, you will see the 2022-23 school year info. You click on here, and once again, that'll bring you to the landing page where the one thing that is here right now, if you needed to see it, is the staying in touch. If you click on that, there's my information, many of our assistant principals, email addresses, and phone extensions. The guidance department's email addresses, our deans, our parent coordinator, and then some of our social media feeds. If you want to take a sneak peek at what some of the things are that we've been doing this past summer and this past school year. It's a really great place to get a sense of what it's like on a day-to-day basis. We're very fortunate to be able to film, video, photograph a lot of what's happening, not only outside of the classroom, but inside of the classroom. So you can surely take a head start and check out some of that stuff. So at the very least, we have some contact information here. And as I said, once we post and update this page, you're going to see a lot of the answers to questions that you have in terms of where you report to on that first day. What about Metro cards? Now, all those things are going to be distributed on the first day. When you get to school on the first day, if you're expecting to get a Metro card, you're going to get a Metro card. You'll be getting ID cards. Every year, we're going to be printing out new ID cards, so you're going to get a brand new ID card. For those of you who haven't had their photo taken yet, we're going to get your photo taken so we can print out an ID card with your photo on it. So not to worry. I just wanted to make this kind of the point of coming together tonight, is just to make sure and show you where you can look when that information is going to be posted. So just jumping right into some of the questions, because I can see already some of those questions are popping up, and I'm glad to see it's about 225 of you here tonight, which is awesome. I do want to reiterate, so for those of many of you who are our newest students, I realize you're coming into a new school, a new environment. There's a lot of things that you're looking forward to. I see already a lot of you are looking into when can I sign up for clubs? When can I sign up for sports? All that information, I don't know what your previous experiences have been, but all that information will always be shared. And what I've tried to do as the principal of the school is always be the one that is posting this stuff on the website and sharing it via emails. So what's really important, if this is not a practice, this is something you need to start making a practice. All of you will be using your @nycstudents.net email addresses this year. If you're coming from a school that didn't use that email address on that first week of school, we're certainly going to assist you in figuring out what that email address is. And if you need your password updated, we'll help you update that password. Because that's going to be the username and the password for pretty much all of the systems, not every single one, but most of the systems that you're going to be logging into. So knowing what your @nycstudents.net email address and account is going to be important. Now, for some of you, you may not be able to acquire that information until your first day of school. But as I said before, we're going to do everything that we can ahead of time to be able to provide you that information. And then where you don't know it, that's what we're going to be here to help you with and provide that information for you. But it is really important that you're going to be checking your email addresses, check your email on a regular basis, and make sure you're not missing any messages. But in the meantime, everything else will be posted on this particular page. So, and we're going to try and create an FAQ section as questions that are coming up pretty regularly and consistently. We want to make sure we have a place where we're posting those answers so everyone has access to them. All right. Let's take a look here and see some of the questions that you guys have that I think everyone might want to know the answer to. So just bear with me. All right, so here's a question about clubs. I know that's something that's on a lot of your minds, is where and when can you get more information about clubs. So at the end of September, early October, there will be a club fair. First and foremost, what has to take place is the students who run our clubs have to come together, reorganize, create all the club charters and information so we can get it out to all of our students. And I believe the first week of October, we have our club fair. It's after school, and you'll have the ability to attend that. And you'll be able to meet all the club presidents, vice presidents, and really get a good sense of everything that's going on before you sign up for it. So you can have plenty of time. That's what I was trying to say before, is that we're really going to try and segue into the new school year gradually. You'll take your time in learning each step by step, and we don't want to overwhelm you. So, and plus we want to make sure you don't miss anything. So everything's not going to happen at once. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is by week number 2, there'll be a freshman social. Basically an ice cream party after school on a Friday to introduce all of our 9th graders to one another and some of the faculty and staff, and just to kind of give you that chance to acclimate again and start to get to know one another. So don't worry about clubs. Can freshmen start them? So typically speaking, I won't say never or no to that per se, but once you start hearing announcements about clubs and the charter process from Mr. Tarusa, our coordinator of student activities, you'll get to learn more about how you attend a meeting in order to do so. All right, so you're going to stay tuned and listen for those announcements. During period 3, every day, we have the announcements that are made, and then, of course, via email addresses. So everyone here, what is true is that everyone has signed up to Naviance. I would hope at this point. If you haven't signed up to Naviance, that's another step that you're going to want to take either before school starts or once school starts. Ms. Kirschbaum, the assistant principal, Ms. Alexis Kirschbaum is the one who mailed out your Naviance codes for our newer students ahead of time. For our 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students and family members, you're already accustomed to receiving communications on Naviance. Right now, Naviance is the only way we can email our families and our students, being, once again, like I said, Pupil Path is no longer functioning and no longer exists. So it's really important that you do check the email that you have registered on Naviance so we can stay in touch with you guys, especially over the next week. I'll throw another question up here. What time does the school doors open? So typically speaking, the cafeteria entrance near the softball field is where all of our students are going to enter this year, once again. And that's returning back to some of our protocols and procedures before COVID. Okay, so the cafeteria entrance is where you will come in. And we typically open those doors up by 7:15 a.m. each morning. So for some of our students who are arriving a bit earlier, you have a place to come into and wait. And especially for some of our students who are coming, let's say they don't start their day until period 2. This is where you'll be waiting during that time until your day does start. Okay, but by 7:15 a.m., the cafeteria doors are open. And if you haven't, for some reason, been to our school yet, on this page, when I update it, I will also include a screen capture of the map, an overview, an overhead of the map of the school. So if this is your first time traveling around the building, you'll get a sense of where the cafeteria doors are. So not to worry. We always try to go out of our way to be very explicit where entrances and the exits are within the building. And there you go. Here's an answer to one of the questions once again. Like I said, the freshmen can start clubs, but wait until Mr. Tarusa gets some of that information out for you specifically so that you can hear it from him, he himself, and make sure you don't miss any of the meetings or miss getting some of the paperwork that you might need to get in order to start these clubs. Okay, question about homerooms. So what we're going to do later this week on Thursday, you will see, once again, there'll be information on this page that's going to say, where do you go to look up your homeroom and what classroom is my homeroom in? So we're going to basically list, there's going to be a link that you can click on, and you can look up your homeroom by your OSIS number. So by looking up your OSIS number, you'll be able to look up your homeroom, and we more than likely are going to include what your homeroom classroom number is. So on the day, on the first day of school, when there is typically a homeroom scheduled, you can look it up on your phone, or you can look it up ahead of time before you come to school. And you'll be able to identify which classroom that you're reporting to for that very first time that we come together. Okay, so not to worry. We will be posting that on the website. And just while we're talking about this, for those of you who are coming back to school or coming into a public school for the first time, last year you had to have a health screening completed as you were entering the building, before you entered the building. That is no longer going to be true. So you no longer have to use and complete the health screening before you come into the building. Although, there are some specific procedures for reporting a positive COVID case. If you, unfortunately, fall a little bit ill to COVID or have a positive COVID case yourself. So that information we'll be sharing once again on this webpage, on this homepage. It's one single page. We'll have all that information for you guys. Let's see what other questions that are coming up as this is okay. I'm seeing questions about what is required to join the math team. So for some of you, I'm going to assume maybe that's an incoming ninth grader. Some of you might remember when you were accepted to our school, you had a survey that you had to complete. I'm going to see if I can go back to that survey. So on the home page where it says admissions, if you click on admissions, this is for our incoming ninth graders. There was a accepted student survey that you had to click on and complete. If I'm not mistaken, one of the questions pertains to the math club, or the math team rather. Are you interested in, yeah, okay. So what academic subjects are you most interested in learning about? Mathematics. Based upon the choices and the questions that you answer in this survey, we'll delineate what types of program and opportunities are going to be offered to you. Okay. So once again, the assistant principal, I'm just going to go back to that page where the information is listed. And if the math team is something you're interested in inquiring about, you can email Mr. Delagrazi. There's a very specific process that we take, especially once you're becoming a 10th grader. You'll have the opportunity to select more of your courses, but that initial survey that you completed was specifically important for us to know what those courses were that you were interested in. Okay, so if you haven't completed that survey as of yet, please do so at this point. It's a little bit late because we are in the process of finalizing the programming, but that is certainly the place in which you want to register what your interests are. And if you have any specific questions as per a certain department, the assistant principal's email addresses are here if you have questions. All right. I see things like join the Key Club. How do I join the Science Olympiad? What is the Glee Club? Once again, folks, so some of these things are very specific activities and clubs or teams that compete in competitions. As the school year starts, this is why you want to make sure you pay attention to the morning announcements. Check your email on a regular basis. And once again, I'm going to sound like a broken recording here. I'm going to keep on coming back to the landing page here and look for the updates, because I personally am going to be one of the people who are posting this information here. And one of the things I do like to do For example, when Mr. Terusa sends out an email to all the students about upcoming events, like, for example, School Spirit Week, I will repurpose that message and also post it to this homepage to make sure that you're not missing information or messages that maybe for some reason you just got too busy. So I do want to make sure there's a lot of redundancy in where we're putting the messages simply because we don't want you guys to miss out. And we do realize that for some of you, this is going to be a new experience and it can be overwhelming in the beginning. All right. Taking a look here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to throw another plug out here. Tech Connects. Thank you, Lawrence. So Tech Connects is a really unique, awesome opportunity for our freshmen to get to meet some of the upperclassmen. One of the really awesome things about Staten Island Tech is it doesn't matter if you're a 9th grader, a 10th, 11th, or a 12th grader. Your friends are going to comprise of students from all different grade levels. As you start to get involved in different activities, or not even just that, it's just the way the school is set up. And this, although we're a school of about 1,400, feels like a very small school. It does. And I myself, coming from being an alumnus of Staten Island Tech from the 90s, coming from a small Catholic school, Queen of Peace is where I attended grammar school or middle school. One of the things I loved about Staten Island Tech being a student here was how small it felt and the fact that everyone knew my name and I got to know everyone's name. So keeping that in mind, we wanted to make sure that our 9th graders felt connected and didn't feel lost and felt like there was other students, upperclassmen, and faculty that they could speak to in case they've ever needed help or had a question. So Tech Connects is it meets monthly. It's going to be well publicized. We invite all 9th graders to attend Tech Connects. And it's kind of like a peer mentorship program where you're going to do all sorts of fun things. There's really great conversations, games, and one of the things you guys love the most, food, free food. So we're looking forward to doing that once again. Keep an eye out and the ear out for it. It's definitely something you don't want to miss. It's a lot of fun, and it's a huge part of just getting acclimated here at Staten Island Tech. And even if you're a 10th grader, 11th, or 12th grader, and you want to participate in this by helping mentor some of our 9th graders, this is certainly a place where you should be coming, and an event you can be coming to. Our guidance counselor, Mrs. Ferrigno, is the one who runs Tech Connects, in case you're interested in taking part or helping out. I see a lot of questions about when does certain things meet. Don't worry about so much of that yet. I do see some questions about sports. So how do I join fencing and such? So one of the things that is already on the homepage, for those of you who are interested in our public school athletic league, you'll see there is a link on the homepage, MSIT PSAL. And you'll even notice I posted this on the homepage because it's one of the first things that's happening this school year. PSAL tryouts for bowling, September 6th, 7th, and 8th at Rab's Bowling Alley. There's some information here, but if you click on the MSIT PSAL link, this will bring you directly to a message about the upcoming school year and the PSAL fall sports that we will be offering, the forms that you will need to complete, and most importantly, what are the teams and who are the coaches, what's their contact information. So if you want to get a head start on inquiring about any of these teams, I see some of you have all sorts of questions about specific teams. Take the initiative, introduce yourself to the coach, email them directly, and you can start to get that conversation going and get some of those answers. I see. Okay. Guidance counselor. So once you log on to Sync Grids, that is how you're going to know who your guidance counselor is. Okay, so once we get the information out about the new learning management system, once again, if you're tuning in a little bit late, we will not be using Pupil Path any longer. No school will. It doesn't exist. any longer. We'll be using a new program called Sync Grades, which is similar but better, in my opinion, than the way in which Pupil Path was set up. Will be a little bit easier to use, hopefully. But you'll be able to look up your guidance counselor from Sync Grades. If there's some way we can let you know who your guidance counselor is ahead of time. So, for example, what I'm going to try and do is on the homeroom list that we're going to be posting on the landing page, we'll try to put a little bit more information about who your guidance counselor is so you can contact that person ahead of time. If there's something specific that you need to speak about or a parent needs to speak about that's guidance related, reaching out to Ms. Kirschbaum. She's the assistant principal of guidance, and she can certainly answer some of those questions ahead of time. But that's when you'll be able to figure out who your guidance counselor is. School supplies. So what I'm going to be posting once again on the landing page is just to kind of hang tight and not go so crazy on running out there to buy school supplies. Wait until your first week of school is completed. You're not going to get a ton of work the first week of school. The first week of school, we just want to get you acclimated back in the building. We don't want you worrying too much about homework or any of that sort of stuff yet. We just want to welcome you back and get everybody comfortable once again and situated. Your teachers will communicate with you what you're going to need. Mostly, everyone, we are a bring your own device school. So we ask all of our students to bring their own computing device, a laptop or a tablet. A lot of this information we've shared already, but I will be posting that information again this week in case you haven't purchased the device yet. If you need assistance in acquiring a device, we have more than enough to provide our students if you need one for the next 4 years, whether it be a Chromebook or an iPad. So not to worry. And once again, on this landing page, there'll be a link that you can click to let us know that you're one of those students who needs a device. So on that first day of school, we could deliver one to your homeroom and make sure you get that. But for the most part, we've tried to go as bookless as possible, electronic as possible. That's not to say that you're not going to have some classes that still use a notebook from time to time. That's still going to be true. But for the most part, this is our 10th year going paperless, so to say. So if you're used to doing that already, not to worry. It'll be just something that's very, very familiar to you. And for those of you who this might be something new to, which I don't think is going to be too new to most of you, you'll acclimate pretty quickly. Okay. Let's take a look at this. A lot of love here in this chat. Right, Oscar. Yeah. Supply list is different based on classes and teachers. So like I said, don't go crazy on that. Those back to school sales aren't going anywhere yet. And like I said, we try really hard to minimize how heavy that backpack is, although some of you still seem to load that up. Okay. Yeah, a lot of plugs here. Freshman join tech crew. We the best. Dina definitely said it correctly. There are a lot of different things and opportunities you're going to have to get involved with. I met with Miss Brown. She is the director of our Sing and Spring Musicals, our performing arts programs. She directs all the shows. Sing, for those of you who are going to be newer to our school community, is an absolutely incredible chance to get to meet lots of different students fairly quickly and be involved in what's basically the largest event our school does each year, which gets the most involvement from students each year. Completely student-produced event and show produced by the kids, and really being the person back in the early 2000s who used to direct your shows, it's just a ton of fun. And whether you're someone who likes to be in front of the stage, behind the scenes, playing music, running the lights, running the sound, there's a place and a space for everybody. So keep an eye out and an ear out for that. Go to room 123 for Metro cards. Yeah. So, like I said, in your homeroom on that first day, we'll be handing out Metro cards, and replacements will be acquired in room 123. But we will make that information available on the landing page. So, yeah, this will be your go-to spot whenever you have any of those types of questions. Pictures. On the calendar I'll be posting later this week, there are specific days for picture day. You will know in advance, so you can come prepared that day to take pictures, have your hair done a little in a certain way that you might want, wearing a shirt or any sort of attire that you might want to wear, especially for that picture day. So once again, you'll know way ahead of time when each of those dates are going to be taking place. But yeah, it will be earlier in the school year for sure. There's no pool on the 4th floor yet, although legend has it that there used to be, or there is. So a lot of comedians here. Yeah. The 4th floor pool is amazing. Yeah. Yes. it could be, I guess. How early can I get into the building? Once again, the building opens at 7:15. The only difference there would be is if you are enrolled in a 0 period, let's say music class, you might be coming into the building closer to 7. So that might be different for different people. But if you don't have a class, the earliest you'll get into the building is around 7:15. Is there anything that incoming sophomores should know? Yeah, basically a lot of what the incoming 9th graders should know. If you're an incoming sophomore who is watching this tonight and maybe you might feel a little bit lost or behind that information, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me or Ms. Kirschbaum, and we'll certainly can put you in touch with Mr. Delagrazi, our admissions coordinator. And what I'll do is I'll throw, here you go. There's my email address at the bottom of the screen. For our incoming sophomores, realizing that you're also new to the school community. Like I said, if there's a lot of information that's going to be posted on this landing page by Thursday. So I think a lot of your questions will be answered accordingly. But if there's something specific because you're coming in maybe a year later, you want to get an answer to, you can certainly shoot me or one of the other assistant principals a question. Mr. Delagrazi is the admissions coordinator. I'll put his information up on the screen. Here he is. You can certainly reach out to him if you have any questions, especially if you're an incoming sophomore as well. Other questions, a lot of the same questions here I'm seeing. Let's go. Yep, I think I answered that. Yep. A lot of questions about the 4th floor pool. There's no pool on the 4th floor. There is a stairwell to nowhere, though. Okay. Okay, questions about physical education. In your freshman year, you either take health or the regular physical education class. After your 9th grade, we have selective health and physical education classes. So there's a volleyball gym, a basketball gym, dance. So as you progress through your years here at Staten Island Tech, you'll have a little bit more variety and choice to pick from in terms of physical education, but not beyond just physical education. 9th graders have the most choice we've ever offered students, ever. And if that's confusing to you or new to you, once again, that survey for incoming 9th graders that you're supposed to complete on the admissions page, I'll go to it once again. For our incoming 9th graders in the admissions page, there was a accepted student survey. By completing this, that would have triggered some of the choices that you have as a 9th grader and what courses you're going to be taking. So in case you haven't done that yet, please complete it. And if you're late to the game on that, you should probably let Mr. Delagrazi know that you just completed it. Okay. More of the same questions. Yeah, like I said just now, in your freshman year, you're going to get a half a year of health and then a half a year of physical education. All right. And also as a freshman, depending upon if you're in living environment or chemistry, you're also going to have lab, chemistry or living environment lab once a week. And you're also going to have a course, I'm talking about ninth graders now, Introduction to Technology and Career Development, which takes place once a week. And all these are courses you're going to learn a little bit more about on that first day. I don't want to spoil too much. A lot of exciting and special things that we do here at Staten Island Tech that just kind of came out of circumstance. Like, for example, the Introduction to Technology and Career Development class is basically a gateway class that's going to show you and prepare you for the opportunity to take part in paid internships as a student at Staten Island Tech. So, like, for example, once upon a time, when I was a student at Tech, after school, I might walk up the block and work at Burger King, which was great. Nothing wrong with that. Some of you might want to try something different and actually try some of these careers that you're thinking about majoring in college. Maybe you want to be an architect, an engineer, or work in the medical field. This Introduction to Technology and Career Development class is a year-long preparation for how you enroll and get involved in work-based learning, paid internships as students at Staten Island Tech during the day and after school or during the summer. Your choice. So, yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Question about lunches in the library. Lunch, we have 4 different periods for lunch, periods 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can't eat outside. Some students opt to go to the library. Some students opt to go to the makerspace, which you'll be learning a little bit more about once you come to school. Basically, it's a really cool space where you can build stuff and work on self-directed projects or projects that you're working on in a class. You might want to see your guidance counselor during lunch periods. All different types of opportunities during that time. Great question here. So do all the emails that you get in Naviance, are they the same ones that you get on regular email? So when an email is sent through Naviance, if you log on to Naviance, you'll see you have a little mailbox on Naviance, which is Naviance is basically the portal that you're going to use to apply to college one day. That's where you do the career exploration surveys, and that's how you're going to apply to college one day using the Naviance web portal. But Naviance is also the portal that we initially used to send you email messages and stay in touch with you. So you're going to want to make sure your information is up to date there. So, but it's true, yes. If we send an email from Naviance, that email not only lands in your Naviance mailbox, but it goes to your inbox of whatever email account that you have assigned through Naviance. Okay, so there is a redundancy there. One doesn't preclude the other. It's kind of a redundant system. So yeah, if we're sending an email through Naviance, you will get that email sent to your inbox of whatever email account you have connected to Naviance. Good question. Yeah, once again, the school supply list, I really urge for you just to wait until you meet with your teachers, and you're going to get very specific information about what types of items that you might need separate to a computer device. Okay, let's see. Is there a mandatory dress code that we need to know about? Yeah, there is actually a new dress code that the students helped create. The students wanted to modernize the dress code. So if you go under student life and you go to school policies and you go to student dress code, you'll see that it says it's currently under revision. So I'll be updating this, the students actually worked with the faculty and staff in creating a new dress code. So I have to put that up here so that's visible for you all. Now, all the policies and stuff like that, like all this is in the process of getting updated this week. And on the first week of school, the deans, we have 2 deans, Ms. Pagliaro and Ms. Federico, will be visiting all the history classes and going over all these policies with you. So not to worry. So there is a dress code. There's not a uniform, but there is a dress code that we ask students to adhere to. And like I said before, our student organization came together and worked with me and the other team members of the school leadership team and helped modernize the dress code, which they think they did a fabulous job with. Really proud of that work. And if you take a peek on, I believe if you go through our social media, you'll see links to that and some of the the infographics that we had published about the dress code. It's definitely on our social media, I know. Do we have a soccer team? We do. Once again, I encourage you just to go to the athletics section of our school website, and you can look up everything I was just talking about before, especially the MSIT PSAL page. These are the fall sports, and there's a boys and a girls soccer team. Miss Santarpia is the girls soccer coach. Mr. Padmore is the boys soccer coach. So you can reach out to them directly and get some answers to those questions. Once again, you're going to get your schedules on SyncGrids once we post the information. Where can you find the buses that you can take to school? I really strongly recommend you go into Google Maps and you type in your home address and then the Staten Island Tech address, and then click on the bus link so you can see what the best route for you to take the Staten Island Tech is. The bus stops are a block away. The train is about 4 to 5 blocks away. So we're pretty accessible. Either way, you're going to find a route that brings you at least 1 block away from Staten Island Tech and at most 4 or 5 blocks. You will not be able to log into SyncGrids until probably later this week, if not weekend. It is not set up yet for any school. So we're still in the process of that. Okay. So a question about, is it possible perhaps to switch out of a lunch for a class maybe? We don't, once the only students we allow that to happen for is that the seniors predominantly. There are some special instances in which that's true, where there might be a lunch and a lab associated on the same day. But I do have to say, I want you to keep in mind that Staten Island Tech, most schools are set up to be an 8-period day. Staten Island Tech has 9 periods. So you are technically taking 1 extra period, 1 extra class than most of your peers are in other schools. So we strongly recommend for health and safety and your own mental well-being that you stick with that lunch period during your first couple of years. And like I said, there are certain special instances, like the math team, for instance, that replaces lunch, but you're still getting lunch. When you're in the math team, you're eating lunch during the math team class, but you're also doing competitions and math problems and math-oriented projects and stuff like that. So I hope that answers that question. The drama club is very cool. Let's see what else we have here. All right, getting through here. A lot more math team stuff. Some of you answering some of the questions. Thank you. Here's a good question. Okay. Do we still test in school for COVID? So the answer is no. This school year, they will not be doing the testing for COVID like they have in the past. But what will happen, we will be disseminating once a month. We'll be handing out 4 COVID tests to bring home with you. to use as necessary when, for instance, you might not be feeling well or you're coming down with symptoms. So that's the very little I do know at this point, is that we will be sending home with every student 4 COVID tests per month, at least for the first couple of months of the school year, unless something else changes. Okay. Let's see. Question about Regents exams. So once Sync Grades is up and running, when you log on there, you'll have daily access to your student's permanent record or transcript, which will list all of the Regents exams your child has taken in middle school and high school. So that will be available and accessible through Sync Grades, SYNC Grades, which is not up and running yet. We will let you know when that is up and running and how to access it. Okay, looking through some of the other, a lot of the same questions. In case you missed the first couple of minutes of this presentation, we are you can go back and rewatch it. It's being recorded and we'll replay. Okay, taking a look. We have to make sure that she knows what we know. Yep. Not saying too many new questions. A question about how important is it to join clubs. I really do recommend, even if you are very involved with other activities already, I think it's a really great way to make friends and socialize and just I'll put it to you this way. We work really hard to make sure that you guys can, we know you work hard, but we also want you to play hard. You are going to, I don't know what your experience is in other schools or previously, but during the upcoming breaks, like the midwinter recess, the winter recess, spring break, you're going to have downtime. You're not going to have homework. You're not going to have projects during that time because we want you to have time with your family. And we want a break to actually be a break. We've done a lot of work. When the school year starts, I do a freshman orientation meeting for parents and the freshmen to kind of talk about some things that have changed in our school that you wouldn't know about unless you've been in our school for many years, around our philosophy and ideas around how much homework is enough homework. I think you're going to be surprised once you find out many of our practices and the philosophies that we have as a school. Just to write, you shouldn't have more than an hour to an hour and a half of homework as a ninth grader. If you're a type of student that likes to put 4 to 5 hours in, regardless of how much homework you have, that's where we want to start making some adjustments, because you're supposed to have a social life. You're supposed to have downtime aligned with the work that you're going to be doing. So, all right, taking a look here. Okay. Yeah, once again, Sync Grades has not been, that information has not been shared yet. There will be an app and a web-based landing page. Homerooms will be posted later this week. Once again, on this landing page, when you come to the home page, you click on 2022-23 school year, and it will all be posted here. Yeah, once again, we will be posting the information about school devices, and if you need a school device, we will provide one for you. And that information will also be shared on this website as well. It'll be an iPad or a Chromebook if you're getting the device from us at Staten Island Tech. Sing auditions will be coming up in September. Once again, so I'll actually be publishing that information on the landing page this week. Sing auditions are one of the dates I will be publishing, so keep an eye out for that. I'm not lying about the pool. Great questions here. Okay. All right. Yeah, information about locks will be forthcoming. Lockers are only used during physical education class. Just so you're aware, the reason why we ask you to purchase a lock is so you can secure your items during physical education class. But like I said, more information will come out on that once we start the school year. And we typically don't ask students to change their phys ed into their phys ed uniform until October or November, realizing that it's going to take time for those physical education uniforms to be delivered to your homes. Okay. Any other questions that you guys have here? Yes. Okay. Questions about senior. Okay. Will seniors be getting more info about college? Once again, one of the events that I'll be posting on the calendar. And by the way, in addition to coming to this landing page, which I'll have a calendar published here, under About Us, you click on School Calendar. This calendar is going to populate pretty quickly over the next 2 weeks. And one of the events that's coming up is the Senior Information Night, Part 2. So Part 1 was in June. Part 2 is coming up really quickly in the fall because seniors kind of hit the ground running when it comes to the college application process. So we'll make sure that you guys are more than informed about that. Any questions or problems with the sizes to the actual uniforms, you can stop by the SO store to make inquiries about that. SO store is right across from Mr. Terusa's office in C51, C52 by the cafeteria. Yeah, a lot of the same questions here. I'm seeing, once again, a lot of the answers to these questions will be posted on the landing page later this week. One thing I just kind of I wanted to throw out there and make you guys aware of is something that's been wildly successful here at Staten Island Tech. You're going to hear us talk a lot about you having the opportunity to take part in a work-based learning paid internship of sorts. Work-based learning at Staten Island Tech is something that's grown immensely. If you listen to the school's chancellor or the mayor talk a bit about what the initiatives are this school year for New York City, you're going to hear a lot about career pathways. I'm excited about this because this is something we've been working on for over 10 years, and we've really refined that practice since last summer. So going back to last summer, this past school year, and this school year, students have earned, I don't mean adults, I mean the students have earned a total. So I'm looking at summer of 2021, our students, 402 students were enrolled in our work-based learning program, did 42,000 hours of work, and took home $500,000 in their pockets. This past school year, students brought home an additional $305,000 in work-based learning income, for a total of almost $1 million last summer and this past school year. If you add this summer to the mix, this past summer, a record amount, 62,000 hours worked by our students, 576 students were in paid internships, bringing in $730,000. So in the past, since last summer, our students have pocketed and brought home over $1.5 million in earned income via our work-based learning program and internships at Staten Island Tech. So I'll be sharing this document on the webpage as well, because I want to showcase to you guys how lucrative this opportunity is and the type of after-school jobs that maybe some of you are accustomed to. There's different options now. You absolutely can try things that you're interested in majoring in college. So keep an eye out for that. And just something I'm really excited about and proud of. Okay, what else we have here? Questions. Yeah, so SYP is a summer youth employment program. There are other programs that are available during the school year. And our Career Development Center is where you can get more information about those opportunities, room 229 on the second floor. But once again, a lot of that information is going to be posted on the landing page, and you won't miss it. It'll be here. But I just wanted to throw that little plug in there because it's something that we've done a pretty outstanding job in developing. And our school and our students are bringing home, I want to say we're one of the top schools in terms of students earning income via paid internships each summer and during the school year. We've been quite successful at offering our students opportunities to earn income. Let's see, any other questions? So Mr. Tarusa will be sending out information about ordering physical education uniforms. Once again, I'll be sure to post that on the landing page. For those of you who haven't done that already, we have a limited supply in the SO store. You're better off ordering directly from the vendor who is going to ship it directly to your home. And any issues we have with the sizing, you can go to the SO store. And that's where we're able to do some limited exchanges. But we will. Question about sweatpants. Is it necessary to purchase the sweatpants? I've seen students wear the shorts all year long, even outside when it's gotten really cold. It's a personal preference. It's not a mandate. It's not mandatory. Okay. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of the same questions here. Yeah, a lot of the same questions here, folks. Like I said, I more than anything, I wanted, here's a good answer. Thank you, Jacob. You'll be notified when paid internships are up. You'll need your working papers, doctor's note. One of the programs is called Jedi. There's lots of different opportunities throughout the school year. So you're just going to have to listen for that, and they will come in droves. A lot of different opportunities that you just need to listen for. More than anything tonight, folks, I just want, as we're about to close this up, I wanted to limit this to an hour. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to make sure you knew where you can tune into on the school website. There's only one spot where you're going to find all the information for the start of the school year. So it's right on this landing page. Once the landing page is populated, I will be recording another short video presentation, just explaining some nuances of certain things in a little bit more depth, and I'll be posting that and sharing it. So any questions that I get throughout the week, I will create an FAQ section on this landing page that answers a lot of those questions. I know there's going to be a lot of the same questions asked over and over again. Just keep on coming back to this landing page, and I promise you most, if not all, of those questions will be answered here. So at this point, I'm going to bring this to a close and conclude this Principal Chit-Chat. Thank you for spending the past hour with me. Once again, I hope this was somewhat informative, and just at the very least, the most important thing I wanted to make sure you guys knew is where to look and find information about this upcoming school year. As these new programs and systems come into play and are functional, I will let you know. It'll be very apparent. You will see even the homepage that has the seagull with the rolling eyes. This homepage is going to change frequently with more and more information. So if you take the moment to actually read the homepage, this is going to change drastically as the time proceeds. Okay. whether it has to deal with summer reading, the ninth, there's a book that we ask our ninth graders to read and such. Get that information. All that's going to continually change and switch up as each day comes to pass. All right. So, folks, thank you for joining me tonight. Look forward to seeing you in person within the next week. And just keep on tuning into the homepage and landing page. And as more information arises, we're going to start posting it in the next few days. So have a really great night. Enjoy the rest of your summer, the final days of summer. And looking forward to blasting off the school year with you. Have a great night, and thank you.